So tonight's topic, they made me feel like something was more important than me. Please find that moment in time where you felt that way. And let me know, just verbally say you have it or you're ready to move on when you have that situation. Keep it tight. Don't let it become a big story, just a moment in time. And tell me when you got it.
I got it, Sharon.
Okay. Tutor, did you find something?
Yeah, I
Okay.
got.
Okay. So now be in that situation. And I find it helpful, you do as what feels right for you, to keep my eyes closed and keep me in that moment. So see if it was evening or afternoon or morning. Were you in person? Was it over the telephone? Where were you standing or sitting? Where was the other person in relation to you? To keep all of that in your mind as we go through these questions. So, is it true that they made you feel like something was more important than you just in that situation? Hi, Sri Devi.
Hi, Sharon. Good to see you. I was just every week I was just thinking, somehow I need to join the class.
Thank you for joining us. So, we've already started.
Okay.
And what you're going to do is find a situation that made you feel like, where someone made you feel like something was more important than you. So take a moment and find that moment in time where someone made you feel like something was more important than you. So I'm going to move on. In that situation, is it true that they made you feel like something was more important than you? And this is just a yes or no answer. Okay. So kind of shout your answers out loud, if you will.
Yes.
See that situation, keep it in mind. Can you absolutely 100% know it's true that they made something feel more important than you just in that moment?
Yes.
This too is a yes or no question.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So when you believe that they made something more important than you in that moment, in that situation, how do you react? What happens when you believe that thought, even if it's just taking place in your mind? What happens? How do you react?
Feel low or
I was crying.
You cried?
Yeah, I was at that situation.
Okay. What else happened? How else do you react? So you crying?
I
How do you,
didn't. I didn't cry, but I held my emotions within myself. I didn't reveal it, but from my face, anyone could make out that I was not feeling good.
okay. So you changed your face. What physical sensations did you feel, and where did you feel it in your body? Obviously, crying. Your eyes. Did you have a knot in your throat? Is your throat tight when you're crying? Where else?
Something was happening in my stomach, I can
Yeah.
see.
Does it have a color or a shape?
No.
Okay. Anyone else have any physical sensations when you believe that they made something more important than you, or made you feel like something was more important than you?
I was scared to express.
Okay, so you felt afraid.
Yeah.
Okay. Felt fear. In your mind, were you calling the other person any kind of names? Were you putting them down? Were you swearing at them? Were you shutting them off, putting up an invisible wall between you and them? This is for all of you.
Oh, just I was feeling angry.
Okay. Angry.
I was feeling like, why me? Why is this happening to me?
Okay. So, in the why is it happening to me, that puts us in a victim.
Yeah.
We're being a victim in that moment. So
Yeah.
I became a victim. So how are you treating the other person when you believe that they made you feel like something was more important than you? Even if it's just in your mind, how are you treating them?
Sharon, it was like I was not treating that person. I was like, I am not important enough.
Okay. So that's what you're believing about you. You're telling yourself you're not important enough. But think about this question for a moment. How are we treating the other person when we believe that they made me? I just worked this the other day, and this was about my husband. And I told him I needed him to take me to an appointment, and his immediate response was, "I have all my patients scheduled that day." And so I felt like he made money more important than me. So I noticed when I inquired on this thought, I treated him most certainly like he was an enemy. I was definitely angry at him. In fact, in that moment, I actually hated him. I remembered other times where similar things had happened and I had similar thoughts. And in my mind, I put him down. I was condescending towards him. So I treated him like he was inferior to me in that moment, which means I was treating myself as though I was superior to him. I treated him like he was a bit of an enemy in that moment. How dare you? How dare you put something else, make it more important than me? You're my enemy. So be in that situation in your own mind, your own situation, and get in touch with the thoughts that were going on in your mind, all of those thoughts, because it was happening very, very quickly. I was angry. I swore at him. I searched for things. I did put up an invisible wall. Did you put that invisible wall up between you? You sort of shut down, became standoff, don't bother me. If you went within, then you did put up that wall. How did you treat them? Were they your friend or were they your enemy in that moment? Were they your loved one or someone to be scolded in that moment? You're angry at them. Do you want to punish them? Do you feel like you want to get revenge? How are you reacting in that moment? Who or what are you when you believe that thought in that moment? What else arises for you?
So, though I didn't reveal in front of, but I was feeling helpless. I was feeling helpless and I was very, very angry.
Helpless and angry, yeah. Now, what aren't you able to do when you believe the thought that they made you feel like something was more important than you? What can you not do in that moment when you believe that thought?
Can you repeat the questions?
Yes, what can't you do in that moment when you're believing that they're making something more important, that they're making you feel like something is more important than you? What can't you do? Can you breathe easily? Can you get your breath?
Yeah, I couldn't breathe easily and I was feeling very uncomfortable in the throat region. I was feeling like dry up or something like that, and feeling uncomfortable in the stomach too. My throat was literally means uh, it was like I don't I don't know the exact word to say, but I felt like I cannot spit out or I cannot even swallow it. That kind of a moment.
Closed off your throat.
Yeah.
How about you, Sri Devi? What can't you do in that moment when you believe that thought?
I was confused, and I was think like why I was not strong like that. That things was keep coming to me. That kind of thinking pattern. Like they get to do, but why can't I? Choose my own thing. Something like that. It's like repeatedly keep coming, and I was like, maybe I'm wrong, or something like that, because the other person was forcing. So it kind of made me into too many questions on my own head.
So you can't stand up for yourself in that moment.
Yeah.
You just can't rise up and be the powerful woman that you are in that moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
How about you, Preeta? What can't you do in that moment when you believe that thought?
I wanted to run away, but I can't do it. I was like standstill. I mean,
So you can't leave.
yeah,
You feel obligated to stay. So also you gave your power away to
yeah,
all of us. We gave our power to somebody else. And whose business is it? Whose business are we in when we believe this thought that they made me feel or you feel like something was more important than you? Whose business are we in when we believe that thought?
We are, I
they,
think, in others' business, I think.
We're in their business. Yeah, definitely. Notice that. So, what past images or future images arise in that situation when you believe that they made you feel like something was more important than you? Something else was more important than you? What past or future images? Anyone? Can you find a moment in your life, and you can go as far back as you need to? What is your earliest memory of feeling like someone else made something more important than you? See if you can find your earliest memory of that. Let me know when you have it. Find your earliest memory.
I felt how long this is going to continue and how I am going to bear it for my lifetime. That was the feeling which I got.
Understood. Can you find a moment at your earliest memory of when someone else made you feel that way? Maybe when you were a child, somebody made you feel like something was more important than you.
No, I couldn't get it. I couldn't get it because I'm the youngest one in the family. Always they gave importance to me. Means I was the youngest one and I was treated really very good. Apart from that, I don't remember anything else.
Okay. So to all of you, in that moment when you're believing that they made you feel like something was more important to you, in just that situation, be there in that moment right now. What is reflected back to you about yourself? What belief do you have running in that moment besides the one we're talking about?
Not good enough.
Anybody
Not
else?
respected.
Not respected?
Yeah.
Anyone else?
Yeah, I felt like neglected or not respected. It's the same thing.
And neglected was the word you said?
Yeah, neglected.
I was crunching my teeth even
Neglected.
now, Sharon.
What did you say, Sweetie? Sweetie, what did you say?
I was crunching my teeth. Even the discussion is coming, we are going through and like.
This is
Clenching
very
your teeth.
emotional. This is very emotional.
It is emotional. And so, those beliefs, in addition to they made you feel like something was more important than you, underneath that were these other beliefs. I'm not good enough. Not good enough is a broad statement, and I'll say that every time we meet. In what way not good enough? Not pretty enough, tall enough, smart enough, whatever it is, pinpoint down what the not good enough is. Not respected, that speaks for itself. You felt neglected. And I'm sure if you look back in your past, you'll be able to find other moments in time where you felt not good enough, where you felt disrespected, where you felt neglected. Because this doesn't just start from this one situation that we're talking about tonight. This started a long time ago. And these beliefs took root in our life. They just, for some reason, they just attach like glue. And they run our life unconsciously. And it keeps showing up and we keep getting triggered and we don't understand why. And it's because we also, each one of those things that you mentioned, that's why I want you to pinpoint what you mean by not good enough. So you have something very specific to work on. But this is another worksheet for everybody. And this is something to work on your own, same as we're doing tonight. But find that moment in time where you felt like you were disrespected, not respected, where you felt neglected, where you felt you weren't good enough. And
Sometimes I feel, most of the times I feel like I don't know to communicate or I don't know to talk, what to talk in that kind of situation. I'm literally, I literally shut off my mouth with fear or something like that. Means what will happen if I open my mouth?
So my encouragement to you for that is open your mouth and speak and then see what happens. You might be surprised because you have a belief going on that you don't know what to talk about. And my money is on that you do know what to talk about. You just have such a strong belief that you don't. And until you try it, until you do it, all we're looking for is the truth. So to share a personal example, my mother drilled into me as a child, don't air your ignorance in public, because I was always saying, why, what, why, how? I always wanted to know. And so don't air your ignorance in public. And as an adult, and after I started doing the work, I realized I had to show up at a lot of events. And I was always afraid to introduce myself to people or to just even be part of the conversation. And I realized many years later, I realized my fear was related to that statement I heard growing up. Don't air I was afraid I'd say something and people would think I was ignorant. So I pushed myself to introduce myself to 10 people, 10 brand new people at every event that I went to. And I engaged in small talk. That's all you can really do in the beginning. I pulled people out in conversation by asking questions about themselves. And I only spoke about things that I knew relative to the conversation we were having. And the first time, I'll be honest, I was pretty nervous about it. I thought people would ridicule me. And that didn't happen. They were interested in what I had to say. And so I kept doing it. And that's how you develop self-confidence. That's how you pull yourself. That's one way to pull yourself out of a fear, is to do the thing that you're most afraid of. And the first time, it's a little uncomfortable, but you see it's not the end of the world. And then the second time, you keep doing it, you keep doing it, you keep doing it until it becomes second nature. You're not even thinking about it. Just like when we learn to ride bicycles or drive a car. I don't know about you ladies if you drive, but I was a nervous wreck when I got behind my dad's big Thunderbird the first time. And just practice, practice, practice. It's these old tapes that are running in our minds that hold us back. And this is all we're doing, is doing inquiry on them to see what are those other beliefs. So in addition to believing they made you feel like something was more important than you now see you have some other beliefs underneath that. And my guess is, my experience is, there's beliefs under that too. And it's just a matter of working through them. That's all. So
And I want to add one point actually.
Yeah.
I am afraid with a set of people. Can you understand? With
Yeah.
set of people who made me feel like that. But with other people, like my friends or my other this thing, I'm totally fine. I can just communicate with them happily. I can talk to them and engage in a conversation, everything. But with only those set of people who made me always feel low or whatever it is, with them, literally, I can't because I'll be always, in case if I open my mouth, one time I did, and it was a big drama, and they literally made me as a big victim,
Okay. So
even though I hadn't done anything wrong.
I would love to facilitate you on that, Chitra. Let's finish up. I'd like to facilitate you on that particular situation you're talking about. First, let's finish up here. And if we have time, I'm going to facilitate you on that, because there's a very strong belief there that they did this to you. And when we finish up here, you'll see, when we get to looking at things from another perspective, how that story changes. All right, ladies. So please go back into the original situation that we're working on tonight, where they made you feel like something was more important than you. Be there, see faces again, see the room set up. Now, who or what are you in that situation, in that moment in time, without the thought, like you never had this thought, that they made you feel like something was more important than you? Who or what are you in that moment? Look at the other person's face. Look at what they're wearing. Look at what you're wearing. Look where everybody's located, if you're physically together. Become the observer in that moment. Now, who or what are you without that thought? Be the observer. Look at yourself. Look at the other person. Who are you without this thought? For me, in my situation, my husband and I were both sitting on top of the bed reading books. And so without that thought, I was just a woman sitting on the bed with the book in her lap. That's all. No story, no nothing. I just made a statement. He responded, and I'm still a woman sitting there on the bed with my book. So who or what are you without that belief? Please share when you find it.
I was just walking in the nature and I'll be happy myself.
Yeah, I'm just enjoying nature.
I was cleaning my kitchen.
You were what?
Cleaning my kitchen.
I told you before, I invite you over to my house. I need some help. Yeah, you're just a woman cleaning your kitchen, right?
Yeah.
You're a woman that's walking in nature and taking in nature, enjoying. Chitra, who or what are you without the thought that in that situation, that moment in time, who are you without that thought that they made you feel unimportant or they made something more important than you?
I'm a happy, bubbly kind of this thing within my world with my friends and enjoying.
Yeah. How does your body feel without that thought?
Feel good, light,
Relaxed.
relaxed, and without me knowing, I'm smiling.
Yeah. Just observing, no stories going on, no attachment. We're just us showing up as ourselves.
Mhm.
Feels good. Okay, so now let's look at this from another perspective. So our original statement is he, she, they made me feel like something was more important than me. So I'm going to shorten that. Something was more important than me, and you know the rest of it in your mind. So what would the opposite be to they made me feel like something was more important than me? What would the opposite of that be?
I am more important than them.
Okay, that wouldn't necessarily be the opposite. So we're talking about they made you feel like something was more important. So the opposite would probably be they didn't make me feel like something was more important than me. It goes from they made me feel to they didn't make me feel. Everybody got that? So now, can you find one true example in that situation how they didn't make you feel like something was more important than you?
It's the same thing, right, Sharon? The
Which
first question.
I don't understand what you're asking. So the original statement is they made me feel like something was more important than me. So the opposite of that becomes they didn't make me feel like something was more important than me. And how could that be true in that moment? How could it be true that they didn't make you feel like something was more important than you?
If they are doing what I am asked for, something like that.
Okay. Did they actually tell you, oh, this is more important than you?
No.
Okay, so that's one example. That's one true statement. They didn't actually say, oh, this is more important than you. They simply responded. And that could be another example. They simply responded. It was my mind that went into a big
We
story.
reacted.
Pardon?
We reacted in that way.
Correct.
They responded and we reacted.
Yeah.
Okay,
Can you find one other true statement to support. They didn't make me he, she, they didn't make me feel like something was more important. We already found one example. What's another example? Another true statement.
They are just in their business.
Yeah. They're in their mind expressing themselves. That's all. They just said something. My mind did all the rest. You ever had somebody be angry at you for something you said, and all you did was speak your piece, right? It was their interpretation of what you said that got them angry, not you. You didn't make that. You don't have that power over anybody. They don't have that power over us. Only we can make ourselves upset or happy. Every time, 100% of the time. All right, let's look at a different perspective. I made them feel like something was more important than them. Now, even if it wasn't in that moment, if it is in that moment, you find an example, great. But if you have to look outside of that moment for another time where you may have made them feel like something was more important than them, give me a true statement to support that. I made them feel like something was more important than them. Have you ever told them, shh, I'm listening to something, or I'm in the middle of something?
I didn't get a chance, Sharon, to be very frank.
Even if it's outside of that situation, was there any other time where you, in your mind, made them feel like something was more important than them? I know if I shush someone or I tell
Means
someone,
physically, even though they are not there in my mind, did I play that? Are
yeah,
you asking that?
yeah, whether in person or whether in your mind, you made them feel like something was more important than them. Yes, to both.
Yes. To
Yes,
be very
yes,
frank, yes.
yes.
Okay. So we can notice in that one, in that answer, we are doing exactly to them what we're accusing them of doing to us. Can you see that?
Mm.
Yes.
Imagine that, hey? This is why we say everything is a mirror image. Everything is a reflection back to us. Exactly what we're accusing the other of, we've done it too. And that's why it stings sometimes. Okay, the last look here, or maybe not the last, comes back on us. So we're going to turn this to ourselves. I made me feel like something was more important than myself. So in that situation, that moment that you originally started with tonight, what's an example? What's a true statement of how you made you feel like something in that moment was more important than you? And so you're going to say to yourself, I made me feel like something was more important than myself. How could that be true in that moment in time? Yeah, I'll start us off. So in that situation the other morning, I made myself feel like something was more important when I believed the story that got going right away. My husband just simply said his patient, he was booked with patients all day. I got the whole story going. How dare you treat me like this? Who do you think you are? I'm going to pay you back someday. I did all of that. He just simply told me he had patients booked that day. He didn't say he wouldn't change them and reschedule them and take me where I needed to go. I made me feel like something was more important. I took his response and made that more important than me and my needs. That is the definition of insanity. So what are your examples? What are your true statements in that moment of how you made yourself feel like something was more important than you?
Sharon, if I would have continued with the cleaning job, I wouldn't have heard the things what my husband told. So I gave importance than what I was doing. With my work, I didn't give importance to that.
Okay. So I made myself feel like something was more important than me. So you're saying cleaning the kitchen. All right. I made myself feel like something was more important than myself.
Yeah.
When,
Then my
when so your husband said something to you, it sounds like your husband said something to
yeah,
you that
yeah,
that triggered you, that caused you to get a story going, and you felt
yeah,
hurt and like he was making something more important than you.
yeah,
So would it be honest to say that you made yourself feel like something was more important than you in the way you interpreted what your husband said? Did he actually say whatever it was he was talking about was more important than you?
yes.
He actually said that to you? This thing is more important than
No,
you?
no, no,
Okay.
no.
All right. So it was a story. It was your reaction to it,
Yeah,
your
yeah,
internalizing. So that's how you did it. And nothing to do with cleaning the kitchen, because our thoughts are still going.
yeah,
The cleaning is a form of your therapy, but it doesn't
yeah,
stop those thoughts. So you did it to yourself by taking what he said and turning it into something bigger,
yeah,
get into meaning he thought that was more important than you, yet he never said that.
yeah. We never said that.
Okay. All right. Chitra, how about you? Can you find an example of how you made you feel like something was more important in that moment?
I couldn't. I couldn't.
Okay. So can you see how you did it to yourself? It wasn't the other person doing it. They may have said something, and without saying directly to you, this is more important than you, it's the way you received that. You told yourself that they thought that was more important than you.
Yes,
Can you see
yes.
that? It wasn't them who did it to you, it was you doing it to yourself. They just simply said what was on their mind, but we take it in because we have those underlying beliefs of I'm not respected, I'm neglected, or they neglect me, or I'm not as good as so and so or such and such. Those are our beliefs. And when somebody says something that triggers one of those beliefs, we believe it's them who's making us feel the way we do. And the truth is, they have nothing to do with it. They have simply said something. Our mind, our past, our hurts, our wounds are what caused the problem. It's us doing it to us. We cause our own suffering with the thoughts and beliefs that we have. The thoughts came first, and then the beliefs attached as a result of the thinking that we had going on whenever it very first started. And as a result, we become very sensitive. And then when somebody says something and it hits that nerve of that belief that we have going on about ourselves, then we want to blame them. It's your fault I feel this way. And that's simply not true. They're innocents in this. They're simply talking. And that same kind of belief and underlying fear is what prevents us from showing up authentically. Those beliefs are so strong in us. Those unquestioned beliefs are so strong in us that they are holding us back from speaking up in different things, from showing up the way we know we can show up. But we're so afraid of what, really? I mean, if we looked, we don't know how somebody else is going to perceive us, and we have no control over it either. Just as I have no control over how you perceive me, and you have no control over how I perceive you. It's that way with everybody in our life. Every single person we meet, we have no control over what somebody thinks about us. Yet we're taught, and we do it all the time unconsciously. We seek the approval, the love, the appreciation of other people, and we're putting a burden on them to make us feel good. And the truth is, we are the only ones that truly, truly know what it looks like to make me feel good, to make you feel good, to make you feel loved, to like you. And that's your job to do that for you. That's my job to do that for me. It's my job to love me. It's my job to like me. Were any of you in Sheetal's class tonight, or reading the Rantha book? No?
Yes, me.
Yeah, we were there. Yeah.
So, the conversation was around, it is inside of us. Our thoughts are creating everything. Absolutely no question about that. Our thoughts create every single scenario. Those, I should say, our beliefs create every single scenario that we've got going on. If I say, oh, that multi-million-dollar lottery, I'm going to go buy that ticket, I'm going to win. But inside of me, I've got, oh, the odds are, so yeah, it'd be a miracle if I won. What do you think's going to win me over? Sheetal started a class. The book is called The White Book, and it's Ramtha, who is Jay-Z, channels an energy called Ramtha. And Sheetal just started this book club, this book group. We're just on chapter 2. And if you're interested in joining, we're going to read for 21 days, read a chapter each day and put your comments in there. And I think once or twice a week, she's going to have a Zoom meeting around it. But in this book, it's reiterating what everybody says, or the masters say. In meditation, we hear over and over to go within. The answers are within. The thoughts create our reality. And if you're all familiar with Joe Dispenza, wherever I forgot how he says it. Wherever
Where attention goes,
Attention.
Wherever the attention goes, energy flows.
Yes.
And that is reality as well. That's what a vision board is all about. When Sarisha, last month or the month before, had the end of her course culminated in, we did a vision board. Well, you can do a vision board, but if you're not feeling that, if you're not feeling like it's going to happen for you, then that vision board isn't going to work. Abraham is channeled through Esther Hicks. Yeah. And if you listen to Abraham, they talk about the 16 seconds. And if you can hold a focused thought without allowing your thoughts to stray on something that you really, really want, it's going to be drawn to you. Now, the problem is 16 seconds doesn't sound very long, but what happens is you'll get focused on it, but your mind will start to drift. So one of the best ways to keep 16 seconds going is to write it and make sure you put everything into all the ingredients. Like if someone's looking for a partner, for example, they might say tall, dark, and handsome. Okay, what about nice personality? What about kind? What about likes the same food I do, likes to have fun? You want to put everything into it, and you want to feel it. And that's what Abraham is emphasizing. When you feel it, it just floods through your body, and the universe is going to respond to it. What we are doing here in this process is releasing, by finding the truth, all those things that are keeping us trapped. In the Ramtha book, he talks about, oh gosh, let me check my notes, what the thought was, because I've been taking notes here. It was words to the effect of what I took away, acceptance. So instead of fighting reality, I always say, how do I know it should be that way? Because it is. The minute I embrace that, it just releases that tension, it releases the stress, it releases all those thoughts. How do I know it should be? Because it is. How do I know it should have been that way? Because it was. There's no argument, oh, it should have been this way, should. No, folks, it's already happened. So if I move into acceptance of things, and Ram was talking about that, about the world in general, that he embraced it as it is without trying to change it, without anything else. It's, to me, I just took it as that he just accepted everything as it is. And imagine doing that. If we accept every single thing as it is, this person, I accept you. Doesn't mean we have to like the things that they do or like something. We just accept that's the way it is. That's it. A cup of coffee is a cup of coffee. It doesn't miraculously turn into tea, but I accept it's a cup of coffee or whatever it is. If we start to accept everything, there's no stories. Okay. Oh, it's not the book link. It's a WhatsApp group. Do you know who Sheetal is?
No, I don't know.
Okay. Let me write this down.
Can you join me in that group? Can you add me in that group?
I have to ask her, so I'm putting it down. I'm putting her name down right now. And I'll send her a note afterwards to add you to the group.
Okay. Thank you, Sharon.
You're welcome. What else? Imagine that, if you can, about just accepting things. You know, people we've perceived that people have hurt us very badly in the past, and we feel that we're innocent in it. We are to some degree. At the same time, we are causing our own suffering. They said or did something, but some belief got triggered in us that caused us to be reactive, rather than just looking at that person and saying, okay, that's where they're at. That's it. In that moment, that is the best they can do. In the mindset that they're in, it is the absolute best they can do. And our reaction to that can be better. Instead of being reactive, instead of letting those thoughts take over, what if we just accept? Can you feel the difference? It's like the difference between, we're encouraged to express gratitude for things, yes? Even keep a gratitude journal. And what if we appreciated things instead? Think of something that you think you're grateful for. I heard Abraham explain it this way. When we say we're grateful for something, it implies we are overcoming something. And now I'm grateful that my life is this way. But when I say I appreciate my pillow that I sleep on at night, rather than I'm grateful, it has a completely different feeling to it. Words are very powerful. And so when we're mindful of our words, I accept that's who you are. Doesn't work for me, therefore I don't want to be around you anymore. That's it. And we think we're powerless. We think, oh, if I say that, and this is unconscious, absolutely unconscious. If I say to them, if I give an honest no, I don't want to do that. What stops me from giving that honest no at times? The fear underneath and the thoughts that are around that are, oh, they won't like me anymore. Oh, they'll be unhappy with me. How do I know? I don't know that. I'm not in their head. I'm not in their business, but this is me doing this to me. Oh, so I'm going to say yes, and I really don't want to do this, but I'm going to say yes because they might not like me if I say no. How ridiculous is that? My husband says something and I'm afraid to stand up to him. How ridiculous is that? He's not afraid to stand up to me. Why should I be afraid to stand up to him? What's he going to do? He's not my parent. I can't get in trouble. If he raises his voice, that's on him. I have a choice to walk away or say, Please do not raise your voice to me. Speak to me respectfully. What would stop us from saying something like that to these people that we are afraid of in that moment? What's going on inside of me? Oh, they're going to think I'm stupid. They're not going to like me. They're going to talk behind me, behind my back. I can't stop that anyhow. They're probably already talking behind my back. Let them. I don't care. I can't control that. I could talk behind their back. No, 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 boo, boo. I mean, I'm kidding. It doesn't do anything except upset us. Let's be the light above that. Let's be what Ram talks about, surpassing all of this lower stuff and aspiring for that which is the greatest that there is. Aspire to experience the greatness that's out there in the world, whatever that looks like. For him, it was the wind. It ended up being astral projection, where he got to see not just the earth and what was going on. It sounds like he went into other dimensions, parallel universes as well, and met other he refers to us as an entity, but he met other entities that we have yet to meet, and we are going to meet. He said that very clearly. We are going to meet them. And I truly believe that because I listen to some other people that channel, and we are only limited by our mind. And we see that when we do this work. It is that thought. And all we're doing is rewriting the past. We're rewriting that story and replacing it with the truth. We saw tonight when we got to, I made me feel like something was more important than myself. It wasn't really the other person who did that to us. I did it all by myself. They never once said, this is more important than me.
But why do we do that? That's the main thing, right? Because you are not sure about, because you wanted something and then you are doing something. That means you are not sure yourself, right?
I'm not understanding what you're asking or saying.
It's like me doing something is important than myself, right? That's a final thing we are kind of coming up to.
Yes, you believe that person made you feel like whatever it was they were doing or talking about was more important than you. But that wasn't true because they never said that to you. It's you doing it to you.
Yeah, but why do we do that way? Like, I know we are doing for
exactly what we're talking about. Those underlying beliefs that we have. Those underlying beliefs, you said not good enough. So let's talk about, what do you mean by not good enough? What are you not good enough at or for? Share what you mean by not good enough.
not good enough to,
When I said what was reflected back to you, and you said I'm not good enough. What do you mean by not good enough? Tell us, because we all experience that. So what?
Sharon,
I was like I was like not good enough to make my own choice, like like for
Sharon,
example, I'll tell you the
Wait 1 second.
situation.
Let's Sri Devi finish, please.
okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So I'll tell you one example. Like last December we had a world meditation day. So I wanted to come to Atlanta, right? But I was forced to stay here because my husband, like, he travels a lot and he's home, and he was like, why do you need to go meditation? Just do it in our home itself in Charlotte, don't go, something like that. He was taking, and then I finally did not go to Atlanta, right? It's my choice to stay here finally, whatever it is.
But there was a belief you had going on. If I went to Atlanta, then what? You weren't forced to stay there. You were not forced to stay there. You chose to stay there because you had a belief going. When your husband questioned you, why do you want to go? What stopped you from saying, because I feel it's what I want to do right now. I want to go and be physically with this group of people. But some belief stopped you?
I was just thinking that they will get upset, right? My husband get upset because he was traveling a lot and he was there on that week at home. And if he is home and I travel, right? So he'll get upset. That's my underlying, I think, my belief.
Okay, he'll get upset. Whose business is it what he does or doesn't do?
It's his business.
Okay, you have no control over his reactions. And even if he did get upset, that still has nothing to do with you. This is where we have to be very clear. Even if he gets upset, you still go, and he'll have to deal with his upsetness because you had nothing to do with that. His own belief system. Oh, she's my wife. I demand her to stay here, or whatever his beliefs are. That's on him. You want to go and be with this group. That was important to you. You're still talking about it. That's how important it was to you. And,
Yeah,
and
I
you
know.
you missed that opportunity because you believed if you left, he'd be upset. That's his business. Take care of your business. This is what I want to do. And even if he gets upset, is that the first time he's been upset? I think not, right? You'll deal with it when you get back. In the meantime, go and enjoy. Let him go out of your head and enjoy yourself with everybody. It would have been lovely to see you in person. It would have been lovely. And don't miss the next one. So what if your husband travels? He chooses to. One time you choose to go to Atlanta. Big deal. It actually was a big deal for you. And you put yourself on the back burner because of that belief. And that we do this all the time until we don't. Until we understand, I matter. I'm important. I am this God. And I'm going to do what pleases me, not what I think will please another, because I don't really know what will please another. If you stayed and you did, and you still got in a bad mood about something, what's the difference?
Yeah, it was happened that way anyway. Yeah.
It did happen that way.
Yeah.
And you gave up pleasure to stay and experience pain because of a belief. So it's standing your ground. I understand. And this is not a cultural thing. This is across the world.
Yeah.
We're put into this role that we have to, women are put into this role of having to be a certain way. And we grow up believing that. And when we think we're going to do something for ourselves, we're bucking the system in a way. So what? That's what I said
I
earlier.
think if I got an approval or say yes, maybe I think I was just seeking an approval, I think.
Yes, and that's what I talked about. We look outside of ourselves for approval, appreciation, for love. We don't need anybody else's approval. Listen, there is nothing anybody else has that we cannot give to ourselves. And we think that, they're the ones that are going to give us the love. No, they're the ones that are going to give us the approval. No, it only matters what we think about ourselves. And if we don't think much of ourselves, we are teaching other people unconsciously how to treat us. I think it was Eckhart Tolle that said, I think I said this last week too, we will only take as much abuse from another person, this emotional, physical, whatever way, we'll only take as much abuse from another person as we give ourselves. And if internally I'm beating myself up over things, then unconsciously I'm sending that energy out there, and that person's going to keep abusing me in whatever way that looks like until I start to change myself. And the moment I change myself, little subtle, now it's going to take them time to adjust to this new me, if you will. It's not an overnight quick thing, but as you begin to change your beliefs, as you begin to see that belief you had was not true, I don't need his approval. So what if he gets mad? That's his problem, not mine. Literally, that is something going on in him. It's his problem. Deal with it. In the meantime, I just sacrifice myself again and again and again, trying to please someone who's unpleasable. I don't know if that's a word, but it's a word tonight, unpleasable. we just let go of ourselves and we minimize ourselves in an effort to please others, and it's impossible. They have expectations, I have expectations, you have expectations. The only person that can live up to our expectations is ourselves. I cannot live up to any well, my husband doesn't have any expectations. He's so easygoing, but my mother, perfect example. I could never live up to her expectations, but I was so afraid of being beaten as a child that I would do every kind of people-pleasing behavior just to keep her calm. But the truth was she'd explode anyhow over anything. So I had no control over it. But I learned unconsciously very early to become that people pleaser. And it ran through a lot of years of my life until I saw what I was doing. And it was exhausting. It's exhausting trying to please somebody else. It is, especially our partners in life. If they're a volatile kind of personality, again, it's on them. But here we are. Oh, let's keep the peace. Let's keep the peace.
Yes, yes.
I'm not even taking care of myself now. I'm just worried about somebody else. What about me? I'm on eggshells all the time. Let's keep the peace. Okay, I'll do this for you. I'll do that. I'll do that. When do I take care of me if I'm always taking care of everybody else? I'm not. And until I get the courage to, and it matters how you say things. And we don't want to say to someone else, oh, it's your fault. You made me feel this way. No, honey, or maybe you don't feel like saying honey in that moment, but dear, when you say or do this, I feel this way. And I'm just making them aware when they behave that way or say something, this is how I feel. I'm not blaming them. I'm not saying that it's their fault, but now I've planted a seed and I've given them something to think about. And hopefully they will. They'll look at their part in it too. Oh yeah, when I act like, I'm going to swear here, ladies, when I act like an asshole, my wife feels this way. So they'll start to see in those, and as you continue to grow and express yourself that way. Today I was at the supermarket and the cashier said something and it made me feel small or whatever. But expressing yourself differently rather than saying, oh, that cashier made me feel small. No, her action, her behavior, her speech caused me to feel that way. So now I've got to look and see what was I believing about myself. Okay, Preeta, nice having you here tonight. Next week and for the next 2 weeks, there will be no class. Okay, I'm going to be out of the country, and when I get back, we'll resume. But it's just checking in with ourselves and seeing what we're believing, what we're trying to do outside of ourselves for other people instead of taking care of us. What about making the peace inside of myself? If I'm always feeling on edge and eggshells because I've got to please everybody around me because they've got the temper, they're going to be annoyed. Heck, I'm really tired. It's too much, too hard. I did that for a long, long time. And now, honestly, my goal is just peaceful thoughts. And the only way I know to do that is question and then move into acceptance of what is. The minute I try and control someone else or something outside of me, I can't do that. That's impossible. You're on mute, Chitra. I'm getting good at lip reading though. What were you saying?
No, what I was asking is, it is somewhat like self-love, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that is what Ram is talking about, learning to love oneself. I can't give you the tools to do that. It takes time. It takes loosening up and questioning all those old beliefs, because what's left is the truth. If I believe that I'm neglected and I find the truth is I'm not neglected by them, it's me neglecting me in that moment. I didn't stand up for myself. I didn't speak my piece. I just turned within and I put up that wall, whatever it is. That's not self-love. Self-love would be to kindly say what's on my mind, to give an honest yes or an honest no. That's self-love. That's stepping through that fear. I found the most wonderful exercise to do around fear is to take that fearful belief, write it down. I'm afraid, whatever it's going to be, and then keep asking yourself, and then what? And then what? And then what? Because then you bring up all those thoughts that are inside, get them out in the open, and you see none of it was true. They're not going to like me. And then what? Well, I won't have any friends. And then what? Well, I'll be all alone. And then what? Well, I'll die alone. Well, all of that's going to happen anyhow, isn't it? When I die, it's by myself. There's nobody else involved in it. So the worst that could happen is I'm going to die. Oh, yay. Oh, yay. Then I'll be free from all the minutia, right? But that's what I mean. Just keep questioning. And then what? And then what? And then you see all those silly things that we were believing. So what if I don't have friends? I have my best answers for myself anyhow, not somebody outside of me, right? I can make myself laugh, and I do make myself laugh with my silliness at times. I mean, it's for all of us. So, and then what? And then what? This is my worst fear. And then what? And then what? And then what? So you run out of things. Hey, the truth is, I'm all I've got anyhow, every day, every single day. Those other people can come and go in our lives at will. We can't keep the husband. We can't even keep the child. They all want to move on or out. Okay, he's leaving me for another woman. Great. I love him enough to let him go. He wants to be with another woman. That's what's making him happy. I said, I love him. Now I'm demonstrating it. No, oh, poor me. Oh, he left me. Oh, good. Now that's opened the possibility for somebody even better to come into my life. It's a matter of perspective, right? Instead of the poor me victim mindset, it's like, oh, good. Now something new is going to come my way because that door just opened. Goodbye. Enjoy yourself. May you be in love forever with that other woman. Whatever it is. I know I'm being a bit silly here, but you see how we can look at things either in a bleak way or what's the lesson in it and how do I grow from it? What is the opportunity that's being presented to me right now? And then walk through that door of opportunity and see where it leads us to. People have a great fear of the unknown, and I don't understand why. What if the unknown is so spectacular? What if I walk through that door of the unknown and heaven is on the other side? What if it's like Avatar? If you saw the movie Avatar, the colors in that and the spectacular stuff in there, nothing to be afraid of. It was beautiful. I'd love to walk in the forest like that and see things fluttering around in all those colors. I'd love to ride on one of those dragon things or whatever it was. Just let's see good in the unknown rather than fear in the unknown. And it is me doing both. It's either me scaring myself senseless about the unknown, or it's me having the courage to see beauty in the unknown. And that, I believe, is what Ram is talking about too. We keep ourselves trapped and small, but when we're open, so much beauty and good things can come into our life, including that self-love, that self-respect, that feeling our worthiness. How just by being alive makes us worthy, makes us enough. We wouldn't be here otherwise. If you've read the book by Anita Moorjani, Dying to Be Me, did you read that book?
No, I just heard about that book. My friend was talking about that book, what she went through. It's near-death experience, right?
Yes. But one part that, all of it was amazing. But what stood out for me is she explained in her near-death experience, she saw like this gigantic tapestry, and every one of us is a thread in that tapestry, and that tapestry cannot be complete without us in it. That is how perfect we are. We are part of that larger whole, which again is what Ramtha's talking about. But our piece in it is so important. It creates the whole. So we are worthy, we are loved, we are important, we are magnificent, and we just don't see it because we've been trained not to see it. Women,
What is the book? What is the book?
it's called Dying to Be Me by Anita Murjani.
Okay.
You may be able to even find it on YouTube. A lot of the books are on YouTube, so you can listen to it if you take a morning walk or anything like that. So anyhow, it was lovely tonight chatting with you, working on this, finding the truth, and hopefully you all saw the truth. It was never that other person that did it to us. They never actually said, this is more important than you. We did a good job of that all by ourselves, didn't we? How insane, how crazy we are. But now we can let that go because we know it's not true. And for you, Sri Devi, I highly encourage you to do some kind of work around wanting to come to Atlanta and it didn't happen. Whatever you felt your husband made you feel, whatever it was around that, because that's still in your mind, that's still bothering you. And any repetitive thought that keeps us suffering is what we need to do this process on, because it's a story that's keeping us trapped. And the way to get free is to find the truth, which we do through this process.
Sure. Thank you.
Absolutely. So beautiful, ladies, what's left of the night. I hope you enjoyed. I'm going to go let my dog out now for his last bathroom break of the night.
Yes, thank you. Good to see you after a long time.
Absolutely. So I'll see you in a couple of weeks. I'll put a note out when we're going to meet.
Where are you going, Sharon?
Mexico, Guadalajara, Mexico.
Oh,
So wait, I'm going to be very honest about this because I'm going to look different when I come back. I'm actually going down for face, neck, and eye facial surgery. So I will look different. And then with the next 4 weeks after that, I'm having cataract surgery. So hopefully I won't have to wear glasses anymore. So I'm doing this for me. I just can't stand to see this neck and these jowls here anymore. So, and my husband's pretty excited. He's going to have a new woman in his life.
You're going to be young now.
I'm going to be refreshed. I don't know about young, but I'll be refreshed. So, anyway,
Yeah,
it's
sure.
all
Good luck.
So
Yeah.
I don't want to come on all bloated up and everything else. So we'll wait till some of the bruising and swelling goes away. So I'll be back on camera.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
I love
Yeah.
you, baby.
Good night. Yeah,
Good
thank
night.
you.
Good
Bye.
night.
Bye, Chitra.
thank you. Bye.
Absolutely.
Bye, Sridevi.
Bye.